नमस्ते बेटियों, खुश रहिए। आई JVWU Muskan Kumari from the Department of Science and Technology, and I am working here as an assistant professor in Vidyapeeth University and Faculty of Education. So today in this session, basically I will discuss some important key factors regarding the cloud computing, and then I will just come towards the services of the cloud computing, which I have already discussed with you that in the first session of the cloud computing. There are four services which is provided by the cloud computing. First is your infrastructure as a services, second is the platform as a service, third is the software as a service, and fourth is the desktop as a services. Now we will discuss each services with more deeply. For clear. So to make it an easy way to understanding to all of you, so I'm just going to share the files which I have created through which you can easily get the points clear. Okay, so hold me. Yes, here is the files as you can see here. Cloud infrastructure as a service. So what is infrastructure as a service? Infrastructure as a service is a form of cloud computing that provides virtualized computing resources over the internet. IaaS is one of the three main categories of cloud computing services alongside software as a service, isn't it? And platform as a service. In this IaaS model, the cloud service manager or cloud service provider manages IT infrastructures like the storage, your server, and the networking resources also. Uh, uh, okay, and delivers them to the organization or subscriber organizations via virtual machines, which is accessible through the internet. Okay? So us is also have many benefits for the organizations like potentially making the workload faster, easier and more flexible and more cost efficient also. Clear? So now if we talk about the IaaS architecture, then in IaaS service model, a cloud provider hosts the infrastructure components that are traditionally present in an on-premises data centers. This includes server, storage, and networking hardware, as well as virtualizations or hypervisor layer. Clear? So now, what will happen? As providers also supply a range of services to accompany those infrastructures components, and these can include the following detailed billing, their monitoring, log access, and security, load balancing, and clustering, and also the storage resiliencies such as backup, replication, and recovery of the data. So now, if we talk more about the services, so the services are increasingly in the policy driven, enabling the ARS users to implement the greater level of automations and orchestrations for important infrastructure tasks. For example, a user can implement policies to drive load balancing, to maintain applications availability and performance also. How does ASK work? Ask customers access resources and services through wide area network such as the internet and then use the cloud provider services to install the remaining elements of an application stack. For example, the user can log in to the ASK platform to create the virtual machines, install the operating systems in each virtual machine, deploy the middleware such as the databases, create storage buckets for the workloads and backups, and install the enterprise workload into that VM. Customers can then use the provider's services to track the cost, monitor performance, balance network traffic, troubleshoot application issues, and manage disaster recovery also. Clear? Now we talk about the any cloud computing model which requires the participations of a provider. The providers is also the third party organizations and that specializes in selling us. like the Amazon Web Services and whatever the Google Cloud platforms are example of independent IaaS providers, and a business might be opt to deploy the private cloud, becoming its own provider of infrastructure services. Okay? So, if you talk about the IaaS advantages, so what will be the advantage of IaaS? Organizations choose the us because it is often easy to use, and this is very faster and very more cost efficient and cost effective to operate the workload without having to buy. Clear? And it also manages and support the underlying infrastructures. With us, a business can simply rent or lease the infrastructures which is from another business. Clear? So, ours is an effective cloud service model for workloads that are temporary, experimental, or that change unexpectedly. For example, in a business is developing a new software product, it might be more cost effective to host and test the application using an AS providers. Once the new software is tested and refined, the business can remove it from the US environments for a more traditional in-house deployment. Conversely, the uh, business could may commit that piece of software to a long-term US deployment if the cost is a long-term commitment or less. Okay? So now if you talk about the OS customers, which is working on pay per user basis, typically by the hours basis and weeks or the month. Okay? Some OS providers also charges customers based on the amount of virtual machine space they use, how much spaces they are using. And some services provider are taking the charges even the per day basis how much spaces you are using. There is no required, but they are charges per day, per week, or per month, isn't it? And this way, as you go, model elements the capital expenses of deploying in-house hardware and softwares. When business cannot use the third-party providers, a private cloud built on premises can still offer the control and also helps the stability of our services, though the cost benefit no longer apply. If you talk about the disadvantages of the our services, so despite its flexibility, pay as you go model, ask billing can be a problem for some business also because some business persons who needs the spaces and at that time suppose there is no any available of the spaces because of the most of the users are using the spaces as per basis clear, so it might be possible that at that time there might be some spaces are not available. So what will happen? Mm, Cloud billing is extremely granular and it is broken out to reflect the precise uses of services, and it is also the common for users to experience the stickers of, okay, and finding the cost to be higher than expected. And when reviewing the bill for every resources and services which is involved during the application deployment, the end users should monitor their ARS environments and bill closely to understand how ARS is being used to avoid bill charges for unauthorized services. Okay, insight is another common problem for ARS users because ARS provides them providers own the infrastructures. The detail of their infrastructure configurations and performance are rarely transparent to us users. And the lack of transparency between you can make system management and monitoring more difficult for the users. So this is the disadvantages of the ARS services. And ARS users are also concerned about service resilience and work ability and performance are highly dependent on the providers. If ARS providers experiences network, then bottlenecks and any form of internal or external downtime, the user's workload will be affected also, isn't it? And because ours is a multi-tenant architecture, the noisy neighbor issues can negatively impact on the workloads, isn't it? So If you talk, recall all the things which I have discussed with you in this station, just recalling that all points once again, please listen carefully. That our services is basically offers such as pay as you go, storage for the storage, networking and virtualizations. Us also gives you the cloud-based alternative to on-premise infrastructures, so business can avoid the investing or expensive on-site resources. Clear? So, us delivery is what over the internet. Us is always working and delivery over the internet. Will be the advantages of the us? So, it maintaining on-premise IT infrastructure, which is costly and labor intensive, and it often requires a significant initial investment in physical hardware, and then you will probably need to engage the internal IT contractors to maintain the hardware and keep everything working and up to date. With us, you can buy what you need as you need it and purchase more as your business grows. Okay, our solutions are highly flexible and highly scalable, as you can replace it whenever you need without losing money on your initial investment. Okay? So another advantage of us is it puts control over the infrastructure back it to your hands. So you no longer need to place faith in an external IT contractors. You can access and oversee the IT platforms yourself, and if you use without being an IT whiz. And the characteristics will be the highly flexible and highly scalable and accessible by multiple users, cost effective, many more, whatever the advantage, that will be the characteristics of the our services. Us. Okay. So when to use the us? Us is beneficial to for the business to all save and size, and it also completes the control over your infrastructure and operates on pay as you go basis model. So it fits into the most budget as it becomes less common to invest in physical hardware and IT infrastructure. Choosing us alternatives is a safer, more reliable options. So with most ARS platform, you get access to ongoing support and have the options of scaling up your requirements at any time. And utilizing us is a great way to future proof your business. Okay? So if I talk about the AS non-e-commerce example, like a good example of AS is Amazon Web Services is EC2. EC2 provides the scalable infrastructure for companies who want to push cloud-based applications. EC2 user don't on the physical servers. Amazon Web Services provides virtual servers, so users only pay for the uses of the service, saving in the cost also. And if I talk about the us commerce example, then Magento Enterprises edition can be either on premise or us depending on how the merchant choose to host their store. And in case of us, the merchant is paying Magento for the licensing of the softwares and also then using a third party vendor for based web hosting such as Rackspace, and merchants are able to pay for the hosting and meets their own needs without the cost of maintaining their own physical servers. Also, the merchant is still responsible for installing and managing the updates to their Magento software. So this is all about your ask services, which I have discussed with you in deeply. So students, if you have any problems regarding this session, then please let me know what are the problems you are facing during this session study. And please study these sessions also with multiple standard books like Introduction to the Cloud Computing, which is related to cloud computing, and also follow the multiple websites through which you will get some knowledgeable contents also. Clear? And the questions which will be arises through these services are services like define the art services in concise points, then you have to write down all the points, and ask architecture questions will be arises on arts architecture, isn't it? Then you have to define that how arts works. So you have to prepare by yourself the whatever the questions will be arises through these sessions, you must have to answer that questions in precise format and quantity. Clear? Okay. Thank you.